Hey, thanks for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. I figured we'd change it up a little bit today instead of talking just about power stations. In my area, and I know a lot of others, we've been having a lot of brownouts and blackouts, mainly due to storms. But I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago down in Texas, they was out of power for in some parts for like 8, 9 days. It ain't been too what a couple weeks ago we was out of power for a full day, about 24, 30 hours maybe. But it's getting more repetitive, of the power outages. So I figured we'd talk about a blackout box, or you can put them in buckets, you can put them in totes, just however you're good with it. Put it on a shelf, but more or less it's a you're prepared. You've got your stuff right there, and you know where to go to get it. And it's some things you can think about, and some things you don't. And I figured we'd go over some items. That way, if you don't got it on your list, maybe you can add it to it. So, just to start, let's talk about food and water. First off, water. You got to have it. Put you some small bottles of water just in a tote, whether it's a case, usually at least a case. That way you've got water to cook with, to drink, to wash your hands. And another one I like to get is a gallon of water, because you can just put the cap on it. And mainly I can use this for dishes, stuff like that, washing my hands, and just drink these. And cooking too. If you got like a hot plate, something you can plug up to a power station, a gasoline generator, at least you can cook, make your microwave work however you want to do it. But yeah, just water for one. That's the number one thing on your list, is water before anything. Gatorade is a very good one to put up, because it's got your electrolytes in it. Keeps you powered up, instead of letting you run down, and just to change it up for the kids and family, and I like it, Kool-Aid. Just mix it with water. Even if it ain't cold, you can drink it. It's something besides water. A lot of kids will not touch water. But yeah, you've got to have water. And if you can get a 5-gallon bucket or a barrel outside to catch rainwater or gutter water, you can use that to flush your toilet. And again, like dishes. But water is one thing to really think about. That should be the number one thing on your list. 2 is food. First off, canned food. It takes a long time for it really to expire. But this right here, again, if you've got like a hot plate, if you've got a little fire pit outside your house or a gasoline grill, throw this into a pot, you can heat it right up. Get what you like. Don't buy stuff that you or your kids ain't going to eat. I recommend whatever you like. Put a little extra up, at least a week's worth. Anymore, you just don't know how long it will really be before they get the power on. Again, 3-4 years ago, we was out of power for like 5 days, 4.5, 5 days. Let me tell you what, you learn real quick what you take for granted and what you don't have on hand. It'll wake you up. Another thing, we buy the brand Nor's. Comes with you can get rice, you can get noodles, just whatever you like, pastas. Put them in water, boil them. I think it's like 15 minutes. You can have you a good meal right there. One of these packs, it'll do 2 people easy. So right there is a family of 4. And these are really extremely cheap. But that's one thing to think about. Something for the kids. I always think of the kids, because if the kids are happy, the adults are happy. Pop-Tarts, fruit bars, anything like that. Just something for them to nibble on. M&Ms, just keep something handy that they like with sugar in it. It'll keep them up, vitalized. But just some treats for them, just to keep them calm and happy. Put them on the couch, let them eat. If they're happy, you're happy. But at least they won't go hungry. It ain't great for you, but it ain't super bad for you. And for a long term, right here, number 10 cans, or you can buy them in Malar bags. You can buy Malar bags yourself and put it up. But this is one thing that I really recommend people put back, because if you're a power, if something bad should happen, and it extends the time that your electric grid is going to be down, I'm telling you what, right here, these will save your life. These right here, both of these cans, they're good till 2042. I've had these already for about 5 years. And again, I can show you, but they've got soups, they've got vegetables, they've got soup mix. You can buy the meat, turkey, sausage, whatever, fruits. They're freeze dried, but they last for years. So they really are worth investing in. I ain't saying go out and buy a pallet full, but I've probably got 20, 25 cans of these. That'll get us by for a while. You just put them up. Always write the date on the lid. And as long as you don't open them, they're good to that date. Most of these are good for 20 to 25 years, at least 20. But again, you can buy Malar bags and put stuff up yourself, like sugar, wheat, flour, noodles, just whatever you want to put up, beans, you know. So it's just something to think about right there that will really last you a long, long time, and you ain't got to worry about it no more. But these are for more or less an extreme blackout, EMP, war. I don't know what else to tell you, but I mean, at least you'll be covered. If you just buy one can a month, one can every 2 months, it won't take you long to put up a good little stash. All right, we'll get to the next item. Our next item, first aid. You need you a real first aid kit. You don't need one of these little Walmart kind that you buy over in the pharmacy, to take on a little road trip. You need a real first aid kit. Right here, I bought this case right here off of eBay, and there's plenty of room in it, and you can put whatever you want into it. And I've literally got this thing full to the brim. I've got sutures, I've got everything. Alcohol, wipes, splints, just whatever you can think of, I've put it in there. But this is one route to go. Buy you a case, whether it's like this, a bag, start putting it in yourself. Buy, a few items at a time, put them in there. They don't go bad. And that way you have got a real first aid kit to fall back on, because a cut, can turn into an infection. And when there ain't no power, your hospitals ain't going to be going for about a day or two on diesel generators. So that's just one thing to think about. One little cut could actually kill your child or your husband or wife. It can happen. It has happened. So keep you some peroxide, alcohol, bandages, tweezers for splinters. The little things usually are the things that kill people, believe it or not. But that's one way of going about it. Right here is just a small one. And it pretty much, I bought this and it's pretty much pre-filled. I have added some to it. And like I said, you want to get what you need, not just what looks good. Aspirin, bandages, needles, right there, tweezers and scissors, Malar blankets. You just need to really focus on what you really need, and don't buy all this stuff off of the internet that they're trying to push on you that you'll never use. Get stuff that you and your family could actually use. Something for burns, a burn spray, and bandages. But you want to keep you a good first aid kit that will pretty much do what you need it to do, besides surgery. But yeah, either one of these will do. Make your own, but just make sure you get something to fall back on. Another thing is, and I know we hate to talk about it, toilet paper. I've got my building pretty much full of toilet paper, and I'm not a hoarder, but I remember a few years ago you couldn't buy it, and if you did find it, it was sky high. So what we do is we keep some in the building, pretty good little bit, and we just rotate it. As we grab one full case of it, we'll go buy a case and put back, and it just goes in a circle. But you have to have toilet paper. So I know we hate to talk about it, and 2 paper towels and a tissue paper, stuff like that, blow your nose on. But right here, you got to have that. So just wanted to knock that out of the way. Another thing is soap. You got to keep your hands clean, your face clean, hygiene. You don't want to get to where you're getting bacteria and infections going, because you go so long, things will start to happen over just a little splinter or a cut. So definitely hygiene. Keep soap around, use it regularly, especially when you're cooking or working with food or water. Hand sanitizer is great. Use that, for the spur of the moments, but that way you don't use up all your good soap. But just think of that, like I said, it's the little things that get people sick and kill them. So soap and hand sanitizer for sure. And here's one thing that no one really thinks about, but you need to keep it on hand, is cash. Cold, hard cash. When the power is out in your area, your grocery stores are without power. The little convenient marts, gas stations, they're without power. I mean, the pharmacies, everybody. If you're lucky enough to find a little mom and pop grocery store, handy mart, gas station, whatever, usually they will work with you on cash. I ain't going to say all of them will. We're out in the country, and they will around here, most of them. But you got to have cash. All I had was a few 50s, but I will say you need to keep 20s, 10s, and 5s and 1s, because when you're out buying stuff, groceries or first aid, gasoline, which I doubt you get, but just whatever you need, usually they're not going to have enough change for you, because most businesses, they work off of debit cards. But once their change is gone, let's say whatever you're getting comes up, let's just say $18. All you have is a 50 or 100. Well, you're either going to give them a big tip or they're not going to sell to you. So again, keep 20s and below. That way you can make change. They ain't got to worry about it. And if you have to give them $2 or $3, oh well, at least you got what you needed. But when you do cash, you put it up somewhere and you don't touch it for nothing. That way it's always there in case you do need it in an emergency, a blackout, whatever's going to happen. But that's the number one thing usually people will not put back. And then when the time comes, they ain't got it. The ATMs ain't working. The banks are closed. So right there, you need to keep that in mind. Cold, hard cash. Let's get on to the next one. Another thing that people don't think about is communication. If you're in the middle of a blackout, TV ain't working, you can't hear no news, your neighbors don't know, well, the only thing you can really do is get you a good radio. And I recommend something that'll pick up like NOAA, the emergency weather, emergency channels. And that way you can keep up on the news or what's going on. Even if you can't hear it local, 100 miles away, you're going to pick up radio stations. This one here has got a flashlight. It's got the NOAA band to it to where you can pick up the emergency channels and stuff. It's got a little CB to it to where you can transmit out. It's got a crank. That way you ain't got to worry about batteries, but it also has rechargeable batteries plus a plug-in. So you can use these on a power station, take them out to your car, put them in the lighter port. But you definitely want to be able to get out and hear what's going on the news, especially in emergency. If Washington, D.C., let's just say, got hit by a nuke, an EMP or whatever, you want to know what's going on. And I know a lot of you think, oh, that kind of stuff will never happen. Tell you what, turn on your news. Iran give Hezbollah missiles that are small EMPs. That was just on the news the other day. So, these things are real and you really need to be thinking about them. But you definitely need a good radio for information. Another thing is just some little cheap walkie-talkies. That way, if, just saying, if I have to run to town to try to get some kind of food or a tool or whatever, me and my wife can stay in communication, or me and my daughter, at least with these right here, these go miles. But you want to be able to stay in contact with your loved ones. You hurt yourself, hey, you need to come and get me. If you got to bring a bicycle or whatever, stay in touch. And again, your neighbors, give one to your neighbor, help each other out, watch each other for vandals or whatever happens. When the power's out, it's a good time for thieves to come out of the woodwork and do their thing. So just something to think about. But again, you need information, and you need to speak to one another. So let's move on to the next one. Another thing you need to think about is lighting. How are you going to get light in your home if the power is out? Well, the first step is have a good rechargeable battery and keep them charged up. But you need a flashlight of different types. This is just a all-around flashlight, to walk outside and look or whatever through your house. I highly recommend a pocket flashlight. They've got a little clip on it. You can clip it on your shirt, belt, whatever. But these little things, they're really handy. You ain't got to worry about carrying it, dropping it, whatever. Just put them in your pocket. I mean, they're small as they can be. A good little light for your locks, your keyholes, whatever. You drop your medicine in the house and it's pitch dark, you can find it. Right here, I just picked this up at a store. I think I give $10 for it. Just any kind of flashlight will do as long as they're dependable. This one isn't rechargeable. It just takes batteries, but these two are rechargeable. Right here is a little cheapie I bought one time. This is a solar flashlight. Just stick it out in the sun during the day. Right there. The sun will charge it up. And believe it or not, it will last for, if you just turn it on, I'd say it lasts a good 2 hours. It ain't nothing spectacular, but they do work. And I think I give, honestly, it was under $3, maybe $3 at the most for this. But definitely a flashlight. And I do recommend some type of a headlamp put on your head. These things, I'm telling you what, they're bright, different settings. But if you have to go out and you got your hands full working, these things are great because you just, wherever you're looking, that's where the light's pointing. But especially on traveling, if you have to travel on foot, these are great. But again, they're adjustable, different brands, different types. But a headlamp is really good to have. I think I've got about 6 of them of different types. They really come in handy. But that's just something to think about. And inside your home, I've got about 4 of these. These are a solar light bulb. You can see the little solar bars on them. It's got 3. You can stick these outside, let them charge up during the day. They've got a little hook. You can hang them from your lights or a string, a cabinet knob, whatever. I ain't charged this one in a while, but you can twist it and it'll come on and untwist a little bit and they'll go off and they just hang. But again, these are on Amazon, eBay. Just something really good to get. I do recommend them. They are good. I'm wanting to say they're roughly $3 to $5 each. You just got to look around. But that's something to look into. And again, I've shown these. These are a USB end. This one in particular has got an on and off switch. Some do have them, some don't. But plug it up. These put off great light. Literally, these are under $3 each. The more you buy off a seller, the cheaper they get. I just got 4 or 5 of them for like $2.60 each. So, and these put off great light. They really do. I've got a previous video. You can go back and check it out. I hung one of these in my kitchen at nighttime, total darkness. This was the only light, and you could actually read a book under it. These are great for emergencies, and I just recommend getting them. They are great. I recommend a spotlight. Something, it ain't got to be a spotlight, but something with a lot of light. Because when you're outside and there's an emergency going on and you really need to look around, you need something that's really going to be a wide view of light for you, for whatever reason, just for an emergency. something a little flashlight ain't gonna be able to do. Something like this really widens out the view and it's really bright. Something with a lot of luminance. So that's something to think about. I think I give like $10 for this. It's rechargeable. I believe in rechargeable stuff. I really do. Right here, just wanted to show this. This is a light, call them a camping light. It's got a hook on it. It's got solar. It's got your rechargeable hookup cord. But these right here are great. I ain't charged it up in a while, I'm sorry. But you can literally hang this just like a light in your room. And they do work very good. It's got different settings. They're roughly like $14, $15. But that's something else to think about. And these right here, I swear by these. The little rechargeable lanterns. This one has a solar up here. I do believe in the solar ones because if all else fails, at least you can set it outside, whatever kind of light or gizmo you're buying. But this one in particular, it works as a flashlight, as you can see. But it's also a lantern. It's got USB ports on it, little handle, your recharge cord, and you can actually plug this up to the wall if you need to, or again, a power station. But right there, these things are great for when the kids need to go to the restroom or whatever, you know, walk around the house, going to sleep, they want a little light, you know. So different types of these, but they are worth looking into. You can buy 2 of these, honestly, for like $10 or less. If you really look around, I have found them 2 for $5. So that's just something else to look into. But that's about it. This is just the box for this. But that's it as far as the lights. We'll move on to the next one. All right. Now we're going to look at solar banks, power banks, however you want to talk about them. These right here have got solar. You can set them out and let them charge up. And all they really are is a battery. Something you can hook your phone up to. You got your little USB ports. And I forget the other ones, but they're like a cell phone. But you can hook your phones and charge them up by this. This one here has got a flashlight. If I can find the button for it. Right there. It's got 2 lights on the front. But these right here off of eBay, Amazon, honestly, roughly $9, $10. These ain't really expensive. They do work. I highly recommend these of some sort, of some brand. Like I said, you can plug your little lights into it. I'll just show you right here real quick. Like I said, that light puts off good light. But you can just let your kid walk around the house to the bathroom, to their bedroom. This right here, that's all they got to do. You know, right there's your light. But again, you need something to charge up your cell phones with, a radio, lights, whatever. And again, these are $10. Got a flashlight built right into it. So something to look at. This is another power bank. This is a little bit better. This one here, it's solar. But as you can see, it folds out. It's got 4 panels. So, I mean, you can really charge up quickly with this one. I paid a little bit more. I'm wanting to say I've got about $30 into this one. And again, on this side, you can lay your phone right there on the pad and it'll charge up, you know, just like a power station. It's got a flashlight. It's got your ports right there. So just something to think about. This one here probably cost, I'm wanting to say about $20, $25, but it's a very good one. So these are very handy. And right here is an anchor, as you can see. This one here, you can lay your phone on it and charge it. Another power bank. Right there's your ends. This is solely for a phone or something with a little USB. But this one here, they are very good. They cost about $50. This anchor one did. You know, you don't have to go that route. these have done me just as good. But it's just something to think about. You got different brands. So you do need a little power bank just for an emergency. Over here, I have got rechargeable batteries. You might want to get regular batteries, your choice. I just find it's a lot cheaper to go ahead and buy rechargeable, because regular batteries, when they're out, you got to just keep buying them. These right here, when they're out, I just charge them back up. You get a charger with it, just plug it into an outlet on your power station. Again, I do recommend a power station, but this one here charges your 9-volt right here. It charges your double A's. It charges the triple A's. So I just bought them all. I got 2 chargers, but a whole bunch of batteries. But I can charge every battery, the 9-volt, double A, and triple A, all with this one charger. So like I said, when I need a battery, and get the batteries that you need for your stuff, check them out. But when you buy these, they are literally not that much more than buying a big pack of double A's or triple A's. You might give an extra $2 or $3, but then you've got them for years to come. So that's just something to really think about. Flashlights, stuff like that, headlamps, radios. But you definitely want batteries, whether they're rechargeable or just regular old Duracell, or whatever. But it's just something to think about. But get you some batteries. And another thing I want to throw in here is I just, every time something goes bad or whatever, I put them back. Like your little USB cables of whatever sort, if they go to a flashlight, a radio, a cell phone, whatever, I wrap them up and I throw them in here. And always keep you some of these little plug-ins for your cell phone recharge cable. They come in real good handy. But just keep you a little assortment right there. That way you got what you need when you need it. But don't forget them. But I hope that's been helpful to you. We'll go on to the next one. And another thing you should really consider getting, if you don't already have, is a power station. These things, I'm telling you, are great to have. You don't have to get a huge one. You can get a small one. This is a 600 watt. Lay your phone right there and charge it. You've got your AC outlets, your phone USB charges. I mean, they're great. They can even run a refrigerator, a small cooler, electric cooler. They're just really nice to have. This one in particular, it's the E600 by Pecron. Average price is $300. You can find them on sale, $279 every now and then, but $3 and a quarter right there, and a 2-year warranty. I was just throwing that out there. A power station is really great to have. Run a microwave off of it, a hot plate. You can get bigger ones. See what wattage you need, what you're going to use it for, and go from there. But I just wanted to throw that out there. Here's another thing that I believe in. If you don't want to get all technical with batteries and rechargeable stuff and solar, these right here are emergency candles. It's literally kerosene, but these will last days. I mean, literally. I'm wanting to say, I've never used these. If I just lit them and let them go, I forget the exact amount, but I'm wanting to say like a 3-day candle, 2-day candle. But right there, you need to get these, something like these. They've got a little protector right here, and it's rippled to where it gives off a glare. So it's just something to think about. An oil lamp, kerosene lamp, another thing to think about. You can find these anywhere at Walmart's, hardware stores, but these are great to have. They put off good light, and they are safe. You don't want to let your kids around them or nothing, but they are safe. People's used these for over 100 years. So, there's nothing wrong with them. I keep plenty of them. I like the older ones. I collect them, but, I've got them if I need them. If neighbors need them, I've got them. So it's just something else to think about. It's a form of light. You can turn it on a high or low, just whatever you like, but easy to maintain. Another thing is just regular old dollar store Walmart candles. They don't last super long, but they'll last good enough. And they do put off a little bit of heat. If you go into a single room and shut the door, you've got a few candles with your body heat and just the flame from this, believe it or not, it will raise the temperature, keep you at least from freezing. But candles definitely, they put off good light, and a little bit of heat. It's just something to keep in mind and keep up. Don't use them just because. Put them up and save them for an emergency. Right here, these are emergency candles. They do last a lot longer than you would think. This one here, I think I've got 6 of them. These are 5-hour candles. Each candle from the start when you light it will last 5 hours. That's great. Melt a little bit of wax on a saucer, stick it on there to where it'll hold itself, leave it alone. Right there, emergency candles. This one here is a 6-pack. These last 8 hours. So like I said, it's just something to think about. Put back for an emergency only. Matches, whether the small ones, the big ones, whatever. I've got a propane emergency insert stove. When our power is out in the winter, I know I've got heat. But yeah, you definitely want to keep some sort of a match. That way you can get some fire if you need it. And another thing, I've got about 3 packs of these put back, unopened. Get you some Bic lighters. Any lighter will do, but I want to tell you the flat truth. A Bic will work when the other ones won't. And that's the truth. Them little Cricut ones, they tear up on you before you get to use the whole lighter. Bic is the only way. They're a little more, but man, you can depend on them. But definitely keep you some lighters put back. But right there is another little thing you need to think about. And we'll get to the last thing right here. In the wintertime, you really need to give it a little extra thought. In the summer, you can open windows and stuff and get by. It might get sticky and hot, but you can get by. In the winter, you have to stay warm, especially the children. Always think toboggans and gloves, jackets, socks. Put a little bit of this back in one bag, or make sure you got it. But 2 blankets. If there is no heat coming out, because most people's heat is electric, get yourself in one room, light a few candles, get you some blankets, gloves and toboggans, and you should be fine. But that's just another thing to remember and to think about. If there's anything I forgot, I'd appreciate it if you just go to the comments and put it in. Something that you know of that I've not thought of will help me and others. I hope this video has been helpful. I just figured we'd change it up. It ain't going to be long till it's winter time again. And around here, I've seen how many little blackouts and brownouts we've had. I dread the winter, what's coming, because it seems like every year it's getting worse and worse. But it's just something to think about. Think of your pets ahead of time. Get them ready. Get straw for their dog houses. And maybe a little water heater that you can plug up to the outside of your house. But check on your neighbors and just be thoughtful. Think of everybody around you, but especially your family. Just get prepared. Don't wait till the last minute when it's too late. The power's out, the stores are closed, and you're left there looking like a dummy in front of your family. So just food for thought. I hope this video has helped. Again, if you got any answers, questions, or suggestions, put them down in the comments. I really appreciate you tuning in, and I really appreciate a thumbs up, a like, and thank you for subscribing if you have. If you ain't, I'd really appreciate that. But hey, y'all have a blessed day. Thank you again, and God bless.